Let's bring in trial attorney and legal analyst Misty Marris and a great friend of the show. Misty, you know I have so many questions for you. Brooke just talked about how his defense may ask for a psych evaluation, and that could possibly lay the foundation for an insanity defense of some sorts. Misty, is it that simple? Is that fairly straightforward? What do you expect to come out of today's arraignment?
Yeah, Nick, great to be here. So speaking of this mental health evaluation, this is not a surprise to me in this case. And there's a couple of reasons for it. As Brooke said, it could be the beginning of laying the foundation for an insanity defense or a defense based on mental disease or defect. Those are two different defenses. Insanity defense would result in not guilty by reason of insanity if it were to be successful and result in mental health treatment. Mental disease or defect can actually take a crime that is first-degree murder and have the individual be found less culpable, so perhaps second-degree murder or something of that nature. It relates to the intent factor. That's one bucket. But there's another issue that's more prevalent, and that's whether this defendant is competent to stand trial. Insanity looks at the mental state of the individual at the time the conduct happened. So at the time this fire was set and this horrible incident occurred. Competency looks at his mental state right now. And the standard is whether or not he understands his defense, understands the charges against him, and participate in his defense. If the answer to that is no, this trial may be delayed because there may be an inquiry about that competency issue. So not surprised to see this being at issue at these early stages of the case.
Misty, I want to ask you a slightly difficult question. I want to make sure I'm as delicate as possible. We have not heard much from the victim's family, if anything at all, which might suggest that she may have been disconnected or possibly even homeless. Does this lessen the severity in any way since there's no one to speak on behalf of the victim of this crime?
You know, Nick, it does not, because every single individual, no matter what their lot in life, no matter whom their family is treated the same and should be treated the same from the legal perspective. We know a lot about this case because so much of it was captured on video. This is not the whodunit or what happened type of case that we're piecing together from circumstantial evidence. This is something that is very, very clear what this terrible incident that occurred on that day. So the outcome of this case will have nothing to do with that at all. And at the end of the day, every citizen is treated and should be treated the same under the law.
Misty Marris, thank you so much for helping us break that down.
Thank you, Nick.